morning and a very warm welcome to Arush coaching classes, and we will be learning about short tricks on different topic. All right. So first of all, let me start with ratio and proportion. So I'll tell you the first short trick. Okay, so the first thing which I'm going to do is my first short trick, correct? So that's what I'm going to do right now. So my first trick is splitting a number in the given ratio, right? So for example, if I have to split the number in the given ratio, correct? So what do I have to do? See, I'll start off with the question. The question says you have to divide 720 in the ratio 2:3. This is your question. Now I'll give you two parts to it. Fine. This is solution number 1. In solution number 1, what will you do? You will say total parts. So total parts will be 2 plus 3, which is equal to 5. This is your total parts. Now when I talk about the first number is 2 by 5 into 720, which is equal to 288. Same way I'm going to take the second number, which is like 3 by 5 into 720, which makes around 432. Correct? This is your solution 1. Now, if you want to know this is the short trick actually. This is the one which we were talking about. But if I go on solution number 2, you can see the solution number 2 also. 2x plus 3x will be equal to 720, which is equal to 5x equal to 720. And finally, you get 720 divided by 5, which actually gives you 144. Now they've asked the first number. So yes, 2 into x. So 2 into 144, which is around 288. Same way, we have the second number, that is 3 into 144. Sorry, so you can delete it. All right. So 3 into 144, which is approximately 432. Can you see? The answers are same. Right? Okay. Let's do another question on this. Okay. So the next question is, suppose you have to divide 720 into 3 parts. Say 2:3:4. Correct? So basically I'll write here, divide 720 into 2:3:4. How do we do it? So the same rule applies here also. The rule says, see, I'll go with solution number 1. Again, I'm going to divide this. All right. The solution number 1 says the total parts. So how will you write the total parts? The total parts will be 2 plus 3 plus 4, which is equal to 9. Correct? This is one thing. Then if you have to take the first number, what is the next thing which you will do? That is 2 by 9 into 722, which is exactly what you will get is 160. Right? See, 9 ones are 9 8s are 72, so 8 2s are 16, like that. If I have to write the second number, how will I get the second number? Same rule we will apply. 3 by 9 into how much? 720. So this time you get 240. Same way, if I have to write the third number, it will be 4 by 9 into 720, which is actually equal to 320. All right. Now I'll show you the solution number 2. What is the solution number 2? Same thing. 2x plus 3x plus 4x will be equal to 720, which is equal to 9x equal to 720. So x will be equal to 80. Once you've got 80, Then you can take 2 into x, which is like 160, or just give me 1 second, like this I can put it again. See, 2 into 80, which is like 160. Second is like you said 3 into x, which is like 3 into 80 is again, 3 8s are 27, sorry. Okay. 8 3s are 24. So that is 240. And the next number is 4 into x, that is 4 into 80 is 320. So can you see, if you relate, see, the answers are same. So either you use the short trick or this way, both the ways you will get the answers correctly. Okay, so this was my short trick number 1. Okay, let me take you to my short trick number 2. All right, so my short trick number 2 says that when two parameters are in direct proportion means a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2, right? So what happens if one parameter increases, the other one will also increase, and if one parameter decreases, the other one will also decrease. So what are we trying to say? See, if this increases, this will also increase. All right, if I say if this decreases, this will also decrease. Correct? Suppose I am going to tell you this by help of an example, right? So here it is, price of diamond is directly proportional to its weight. Okay, now we say if 2 grams of diamond cost how much? $45,000, right? Then what is the, you can say, price of a diamond that weighs 6 grams? All right, so how do we do this? See, it is very easy. If you observe carefully, I'm going to tell you. See, if 2 grams of diamond, so this is actually A1, all right, cost rupees how much? 45,000. So this is actually relatable to B2. And then I'm saying 6 grams. So basically this is related to A2. And what do we have to find? That is B2. So that's what we have to do. So how do we do this? See, A1 is equal to 2, B1 is equal to 45,000, A2 is equal to 6, and B2 you don't know. So same thing, A1 by A2, B1 by B2. So what is A1 by A2? B1 by B2. So when you cross multiply, you will get B2 is equal to 45,000 into 6 divided by 2. So if you go down, the answer if you talk about, so you will get B2 approximately 135,000. That is $135,000. So what we are trying to say here, what is the conclusion? The point we are trying to make over here is कि if the price of 2 is 45, so the price of 6 is also more. So one increases, the other also increases. So basically this is an example of what? This is basically an example of direct proportion, right? Direct proportion. This is what I am talking about. Okay. Now, if I go on my third trick, all right. So what is my third trick? Okay. So my short trick number 3, which is based on what? Which concept? It is based on inverse proportions. Okay. Now see here what I am going to say. When two parameters are in inverse proportion, inverse means A1 by A2 is equal to B2 by B1. This is your inverse. So what happens? If one parameter increases, the other one will decrease. So basically if this increases, this will go down. Alright, or if this decreases, this will go up. So basically it is inverse, right? So for example, if we discuss this with the help of a question, we can say mileage and engine are inversely proportional. This is already given. Now we say a bike with say 100cc engine capacity gives a mileage of say 80 kilometers, then what will be the mileage given by a bike with 150cc engine capacity? So what are we trying to say over here? See, it is very, very clear. A1 is what? 100. Okay, so let me see. A1 is 100. Okay, A2 is 150. So this is your A2. Now they are saying a bike with 100cc engine capacity gives a mileage of 80 kilometer. 80 kilometer is B1. B1 by this. Okay. Now let's see and calculate this one. Alright. So how do we do this? I am going to say A1 is equal to 100 and say A2 is equal to 150. B1 is equal to 80 and B2 you don't know. So yes, it is very, very easy. How are we going to write? A1 by A2, B2 by B1. Why? Because it is inversely proportional, right? So I'm going to write 100 by 150 and B2 I don't know and B1 is how much? 80. Correct? So if you are going to cross multiply, you are going to get approximately 53.33 kilometers. That means what? See, the mileage is increasing from 100, it is becoming 150. But the kilometers, it is becoming less from 80 to 53. Right? So, is about suppose you have to, it's about finding A is to C from A is to B and B is to C. Suppose you have to find out like this. So the trick is, see, you have to write it like this. A is to B, then you have to bring this B down and then C. Alright, now how do we do this? The best trick over here is you have to multiply A into B, right? Then second is B into B and then the third is B into C. Correct? So basically here I am writing A into B is to B into B is to B into C. So it's like A is to B is to C. Okay. So I think you have a lot of confusion like what exactly I'm talking about. So let's take a question on this and I'll explain you. Okay. So the question says the ratio of salary of A and B is 4:5, right? Now the next thing is the ratio between the salary of B and C is 3:4. All right. Now what you have to do is you have to find the salary of C if A is earning say $3,600. All right. So how do we do this? So it looks very confusing, but if you write with the trick which I have taught you, it will be, see, the first ratio is what? 4:5. So you will write 4:5. The second ratio is what? 3:4. So how I told you, how do you have to write? 3:4. Once you have written this, then it becomes very, very easy. So 4 into 3 is 12:15 is to 5 4s is 20. So 12:15 is to 20. Right? So if I have to take it out, A is to C, which is like 12:20. Correct? Now what are they saying? They want to know the salary of C. So how do you write? A by C is equal to 12/20. A salary is 3,600 by C is equal to 12/20. So if you cross multiply 3,600 into 20 by 12 will be equal to C, and finally you will get C as $6,000. So don't you think the trick is so easy? You just have to remember that how do you have to write this. Okay, just remember this trick. Okay, now the trick is about usage of common factor. This is the trick which I'll be talking about. Okay, so how do we do this? All right, so let me take you over here. I will say two numbers are in the ratio say 4:5, right? And I'm going to say sum of their squares is 1025, right? So you have to find the numbers. This is the question. So what you have to do in these types of question is you have to substitute the common factor x to the ratio 4:5. So you just have to do one thing, that is assume. What are you going to assume? You will assume the actual number are 4x and 5x. Once you've done this, see, two numbers are in the ratio, sum of their squares is this much. So sum of their square, 4x the whole square plus 5x the whole square, which will make you 1025. Once you've got this, so you will get 16 square plus 25x square is equal to 1025, which is actually 41x square is equal to 1025, or x square you can say is 1025 by 41, which comes out to be 25. So x comes out to be 5. Right? Now they want to know the actual number. So the first number will be 4 into 5, 20, and the second number is 5 5s are 25. So actual numbers are 20 and 25. So this is the best and the latest and the good and the most important short trick. All right, same question, we'll do it in the form of cube. Okay, so same thing I'm going to write. I will say two numbers are in the ratio of 3:2, right? And cube of their difference, right, is 125. Find the numbers, right? So what I said, two numbers are in the ratio of, what do you say, are in the ratio of 3:2. So how will you do this? You will write, okay, so what are we trying to say here? Two numbers are in the ratio of 3:2. Cube of their difference is 125, right? So cube of their difference is, see, 3x minus 2x cube is equal to 125, which is like x cube is equal to 125 or x is equal to 5. Now they want to know the numbers. So the first number is 3 into 5 is 15 and the second number is 2 into 5 is 10. So the two numbers are 15 and 10. Okay. This time the shortcut is related to finding the number of a coin in a bag, right? So it's like finding the number of coins in a bag. So I think this is shortcut number 5. No, I guess 6th. Yes. All right. So how do we do this? See, it is very, very simple. What you have to do is, first, you have to take the quantity ratio, right? Quantity ratio as in like Q1 is to Q2 is to Q3. All right. Second we have to take is, that is value ratio, correct? So how do we take the value ratio? It is V1 is to V2 is to V3, right? Now what we have to do is, you have to now take it equal to T. T is like total. So how we will calculate? Q1 into V1, right? Then plus Q2 into V2 plus Q3 into V3. This is how you do it, right? Then what I want to take out the common factor. So I will say the common factor is equal to x. So x will be equal to, you can say, the total amount divided by T. T is what? The total. Now what do you want? The next thing which you want is, you want the quantity of each coin, right? This is what you want. So how will you find it out? Q1 into x1, Q2 into x2 and Q3 into x3. So this is how you will get the quantities of different coins or each coin. Now this looks little complicated. So what is the best way to understand it? By a question. All right. So I'm just going to take you to the question. Okay. Now the question given over here is, a bag contains 5 paisa, 10 paisa and 20 paisa coins in the ratio 2:4:5. So the total amount in the bag is 4 rupees 50 paisa. How many coins are there in 20 paise? So the same rule which I told you. So first what we will do is, let's see the quantity ratio. So what is the quantity ratio? 2:4:5. So this is like, you can say this is Q1, Q2 and Q3, right? Second is value ratio, 5 paisa, 10 paisa and 20 paisa. So you can say V1, you can say V2 and this is your V3. Now the rule remains, or the rule becomes easy. So how do we do this? We have to take out T, total. So total will be 2 into 5, right? Plus 4 into 10 plus 5 into 20, right? So when you do this, you get 150, correct? This is what we are talking about, paise. But if you see, the total amount is given in rupees. So that means this also we will convert. So this will be 1.50 rupees, correct? Now common factor was total amount upon T. So what is the common factor? X. Total amount is 4.50. What is T? That is 1.50. 50. So basically x you get as 3. Now what is the question they have asked? Quantity of 20 paise. So I told you quantity of each coin is Q1 X1. So here 20 paise they are asking. That means Q3 and what do you say? Q3 and X. So X is 3 and what is Q3? What is the quantity 3? So that is 20. Right? So, sorry, 20 paisa, quantity is 5. See, this is quantity, this is value. Sorry, so that's my mistake. 3 into 5, which is equal to 15. So, how many coins of 20 paisa? So, you can say 15 coins of 20 paise each. Right? So this is how you solve the questions like this. Okay. Now there is another trick. The next trick coming in your way. The next trick is, say, you can say shortcut number 7. Right. So here it is again on ratio and proportion only. It is like if you have to add. So basically adding and removing quantities. Correct? Like this. Okay. So I'll tell you about the adding and removing quantities using a question. See, container 1 has milk and water in the ratio 2:5. So this is your container number 1. Alright. After adding 4 liters of pure water from container 2. So this is your container number 2 which contains pure water. The ratio between the milk and the water in container 1 becomes 1:3. So this is like when you basically in this one, if you add this, right, what comes? This comes. This is container number 3. Okay, becomes 1:3. Find the quantity of the milk in the container. So you have to tell me the quantity. So how do we solve the questions like this? So what we will do is, let us assume the actual quantity of milk and water as 2x and 5x. So see, if you look at the question, what is the first ratio? This. So this is, we will assume that 2x and 5x. So we will say, let us assume the quantity to be 2x and 5x. This is what we are assuming, what? That these are the actual quantities. Correct? Now what is the next thing we did? We have to add 4 more liters. See, if you observe carefully here, what it is written, after adding 4 liters of pure water. See, this is written 4 liters. So the new quantity of water, so this is water, H2O is water, will become what? 5x plus 4. Why? Because this was 2x and 5x. So 2x was milk, 5x was water. Now, what is the next thing? The third thing they have given in the question. The ratio between the milk and the water in the container becomes 1:3. So after adding 4 liters, what happens? The quantity becomes 1:3. So how we will write? 2x, that was the original. Then here we will write 5x plus 4. Why? Because this is the new quantity of water. And what is the ratio? 1:3. Right? So when you do this, what is gonna happen? You will cross multiply, that is 2x into 3 and 5x plus 4. Right? So this becomes 6x equal to 5x plus 4. So x is equal to 4. Right? Now what they want? They want quantity of milk. Right? So quantity of milk is 2x. That is 2 into 4, which is equal to 8. So basically, how many liters? You can say 8 liters of milk. Right? So this is how you do the questions on adding and removing quantities. So you have to be very, very careful in these types of questions. Okay. The average price of a mixture. So how do we calculate? It is AP is equal to A1 N1 plus A2 N2 upon N1 plus N2. So basically what are A1, N1, N2 and so on? So I'll tell you. See, AP is what? That is the average price. Average price of a mixture. Right? Second is A1. So A1 is basically the price of first variety. Correct? A2 is equal to price of second variety. Then N1 is basically quantity of first variety. Quantity. And same goes for N2, quantity of second variety. Right? So what exactly are we talking about and all these things? I'll explain you with the help of a question. So let's go to the question now. Okay. So let's understand this with the help of a question. 2 varieties of rice with prices rupees 30 per kg and 40 rupees per kg are mixed in the ratio 2:3. Find the mean price. So basically what is the, first let's put the formula. So what is the formula? Mean is basically average. So that is A1 N1 plus A2 N2 plus N1 plus N2. So this is the formula. Now let me see what is the quantity, which quantity, what is A1 and 2. So let's substitute the values. See, 2 varieties of rice with prices rupees 30 per kg and 40 per kg. So what we said is A1 is price of first quantity. So this is your A1, right? This will be your A2, correct? Then second are mixed in the ratio 2:3. So 2:3 is what basically? These are quantities. So this is N1 and this is your N2. Correct. Now what we have to do? You just have to substitute. So you'll say AP. What is A1? A1 is 30 into N1 is 2 plus what is A2? A2 is 40 and what is N2? That is 3. And 3 plus 2 is 5. So 3 2s are 60 plus 4 3s are 120 by 5. This is like 180 by 5, which is like 5 1s are, 5 3s are 15. 3s 15 and 36. Right? So the mean price is rupees 36. Correct? So you just have to substitute the values in the equation. Okay. Now let me take you to the next short trick. Okay. And this time the next short trick is again on mixtures and alligation, and this is popularly known as alligation rule. Correct? So what is the alligation rule? See, I'll tell you. You will write A1, you will write A2. Now here you will write N1 is to N2. And in between you will write AP. So see the arrows. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. And here N1 is basically what? See, this has to be A2 not by AP and this is A1 not by AP, right? See, how do we do this? What exactly are we trying to say here? So again, the same thing. I'll explain you with the help of an example. So let's move on to the question. Okay, so you have the question right in front of you. The question says, in what ratio two varieties of rice worth rupees 40 kg per kg and rupees 50 per kg should be mixed to give variety worth rupees 46 per kg? So what is the thing which we have to do over here? See, I told you to write it in which way? See, I told you A1, then A2, both comes to AP, which is like N1, and this is N2. Now same thing I will write. Just observe carefully. That's all. See, A1 is 40, A2 is 60, this is 46. Now N1 and N2. See, what are they asking? In what ratio? This time they are asking ratio. So they are basically asking N1 and N2. So basically what are we going to do? We will say 60 minus 46. See, these two. Correct? This should be 60 minus 46. And here this should be 40 minus 46. This way. Arrow is going this way. Correct? So this is 14 and this is 6. So the two mixtures have to be mixed in the ratio what? See, 14 is to 6. Can I write it? 7 is to 3? So yes, you can say the two mixtures have to be mixed in the ratio 7 is to 3 to get rupees 46 mixture. Successive removal and replacement type. So this is again an example of mixtures and allegations, right? Okay, so here no, very important is you have to remember this formula. F is equal to I into 1 minus R by I, like this. Okay, and to the power n. Now what is F, I, R and N? So I'll tell you one by one. I is what? This is, we are talking about initial quantity. Okay. R we are talking about is the removal quantity. Okay. F we are talking about is final quantity, right? And N we are talking about is number of processes, right? Now what is the thing which we will do? We will discuss. Okay, so let's understand this formula with this question. A container has 1000 liters of wine and 100 liters of wine is drawn from the container and filled with water. This process is done 2 more times. So what is the ratio between wine and water in the final mixture? So what you have to do? Basically, you just have to take out the things very easily, right? So see, we have to take out, the final thing. So what we will do, what is the present quantity, right? Present quantity as in we are talking about the initial, right? So what is it? It is, you can say, okay. So when you have to tell the initial one, see, the question is initial quantity, right? So what is the initial quantity here? A container has 1000 liters of water. So 1000 is your initial, right? Then what is the next thing they have asked? Removal. R is removal quantity. So how much is it removed? 100 liters of wine is drawn. So R will be 100. Correct? And then is drawn from the container and filled with water. This process is done 2 more times. So how many times it is repeated? 2 more times. So 2 and plus 1, that makes 3. Why are we taking 2 and plus 1? See, it is saying this process, the process of removing 100 liters of wine is done 2 more times. 2 more times means 2 and 1 more time it has already happened. So this you have to be very, very careful with. Now what? Simply you have to put it in the formula that says 1000 into 1 minus 100 by 1000, right? And how do you write this? To the power 3, right? So basically you will get around 729, correct? So it's about the initial quantity we were talking about. Now what do they want? What is the ratio between wine and water in the final mixture? So we have to take out the present quantity and all. So let's go and take it here. What is the present quantity? Right? The present quantity is like, see, the present quantity is 729. See, we've taken out this. This is the final one, correct? Okay. Present quantity, this 729 is present quantity of what? It is present quantity of wine, right? Same way you have the present quantity of water, right? So what is the present quantity of water? Yes, definitely 1000 minus 729, which is like 271. Now what are they asking you? They are asking what is the ratio between wine and water, right? So in the final mixture, so we are talking about the final mixture. So ratio of wine is to water will be equal to, what is wine here? 729. What is water? 271. Right? So this is the best way to do it. Okay. So this is, the shortcut trick. Okay. The formula trick, you can say. Now I'll tell you another solution. Okay. What is the next trick? See, this is about common increase or decrease for all the elements, right? So this question is related to the average. Now what are we saying? If all the elements in a series are increased or decreased or multiplied or divided by a certain number, then the old average should also be added, subtracted, or multiplied or divided respectively to get the new average. So what are we trying to say here? See, I'll just put it across for you. Okay, so see, this is what I was trying to tell you. If all the elements in a series are increased or decreased or multiplied or divided by a certain number, then the old average should also be added, subtracted, multiplied or divided respectively to get the new average. So what am I trying to say over here is, I'll explain you with the help of a question. Alright, now the question says average age of a family of 4 members is 34, right? What is the average age of family after 4 years? So see, what are we saying? Since everyone age is increasing by 4 in 4 years, right? So the average age will also increase by 4 years. So what will be the new average? See, first it is 34. Now after 4 years, what is happening? The average will also increase because everybody, suppose there is A, B, C and D, all of them age is increasing. So we will write it 34 plus 4, that is 38. Don't you think this is the easiest trick I have told you? Oh, you don't believe me? Okay, I'll give you the proof then. Okay, so this is the short trick. Now I'll tell you about so this was my short trick, right? Now I'll tell you the proof. If you don't believe me, then I'll show you. See, total age of the family members before 4 years. So total age of family members will be how much? 34 into 4, which is like 136. Now total increased age of 4 members. So how much it will be? 4 into 4, that is 16, right? So new total age will be how much? See, 136 plus 6, which is equal to 152. So what will be the new average? The new average will be equal to 152 by 4, which is like 38. How many steps are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many step is there? 1. So you should always go with this trick. It will always work. Okay? Fine. Now I'll take you to another short trick. Okay, so I hope you're enjoying the video, right? Okay. So now it is again on average, right? In average, I am talking about adding or removing or replacing an element, right? So basically what you have to do is you have to write A1 into N1 minus A2 into N2. So what am I talking about, this A1, N1, A2, N2? I'll tell you one with example, okay? So let's start with the question. Okay, so now the question is average age of 5 students was 18. Now after adding teachers' age, the average became 20, right? What is the average age of teacher? So what I told you, see, A1, N1, that means what are we saying? 18 into 5. This is the initial one, average age. So 5 is the age and age is 18, right? I mean 5 is the quantity. See, basically I'm talking about this is N1 and this is your A1, right? And what I said, minus A2 and 2, right? So what am I saying? A2. What is A2 here? After adding teacher's age, right? The average became 20. So A2 is 20. And what is N this time? This is 6 because one person has been added. So 5 plus 1 is 6. So you just have to do this thing. You will get how much? This will be 30. So this is how you do the question. Okay, didn't understand? We'll do another question on this. Okay. Okay, now the next question is average age of 5 students and a teacher was 21. So same thing, 5 into 21. After removing the teacher's age, the average became 18. So what it will be now, right? It will be 18 into 5. Okay, one thing, average age of 5 student and a teacher. So this has to be 6, not 5. See, 5 students and 1 teacher, that makes 6. So 6 into 21 and 18 into 5, which is going to give us 36. Right? So this is so easy. All right, let's do another question on this. All right, another question on this. See, average weight of 40 bags is 20 kgs, right? After removing one bag from the after removing one bag, the average become 19.5. What is the weight of the removed bag? Very simple. Average weight of 40 bags is 20 kg. 40 into 20 minus after removing one bag. So if 40 bags were there, now it became 39 into 19.5. So don't you think so? It's so easy to take out the answer. So what will be the answer over here? Okay, the answer will be 39.5. So the weight of the removed bag is 39.5 kgs. Right? Okay. Let's do another question on this. Okay. So another question. Average weight of 40 bags is 20 kgs. And after replacing a bag by another bag, the average became 39. What is the difference between the weights of those two bags? See, it is very simple. Whatever question they ask you, the answer, the way you take out the answer remains the same. So what it is, 40 into 20. So you will write it 40 into 20. Replacing means the number will not change. So it will be 40 into 20 only and 39. Correct? So what will be the answer here? It will be 20. Why? Why didn't we change N1 here? See, N1 and N2. Why? Because we said we are replacing a bag. So the number, the N remains the same. Okay. Let's move on to the next shortcut trick. Weighted average. Okay. So weighted average, the formula is A naught is equal to A1 into N1 plus A2 into N2 plus so on. It is AN and NN upon N1 plus N2 plus N3. Right. So what exactly do I mean by A naught and all? So I'll tell you this also with the help of an example. Okay. Now the question is, average marks scored by students in 3 classes are 40, 50 and 60. If there are 10, 20 and 30 students in the classes respectively, find the overall average of the 3 classes. It is extremely simple. See, I'll start off with this. This is what A1, this is what N1. This is what A2, this is what N2. This is what A3 and this is what N3. Right? So what you have to do? You just have to put it in the formula. That's all. A naught. What is A1? 40 into N1. 10. Right? You can do it like this. Plus the next thing is 50 into 20 plus 60 into 30 upon N1 plus N2 plus N3. 10 plus 20 plus 30. Right? So if we go like this, I'll do it here only. 40 into 10 is 400 plus 15 to 20 is 1000 plus 16 to 30 is 1800 divided by 30 plus 20, 50 and 10, 60. So which comes around 53.33. Right? So this is how you take out the average. So this A naught which we are talking about, this is 53. Correct? Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Okay. So this time we have another shortcut. The next shortcut is basically this is also related to average only. Finding the middle subject mark. This is very, very important. Okay, and if the middle subject basically overlaps. In this case, what is the formula? See, M is equal to A1 into N1 plus A2 into N2 minus A0 into N0. Correct. So again the same thing. I am going to again explain you this thing with the help of an example. So let's move on to the question now. Average marks scored by Sai in 11 subjects is 60. So basically A0 is 60 and N0 is 11. Okay. Now what is the next thing? Average marks scored by her in first 6 subjects, right, is 50. Correct? So we can say A1 is 50 and N1 is 6. And average marks scored by her in last 6 subjects is 62. So basically A2 is 62 and N2 is again 6. Now what do we have to do? We just have to put it in the formula. So see M, what was the formula here? See, A1 N1 plus A2 N2 minus this thing. Okay, so this is A1 N1 plus A2 N2 minus A0 N0. So see, what is A1? A1 is 50 into N1 is 6 plus 62 into 6 minus 60 into 11. Right? So this is 300 plus 372 minus 660, which is equal to 12. Right? So marks scored by Sai in the 6th subject is 12. Okay. So this is like, you remember I told you regarding this thing. Now I am going to tell you another shortcut, and this shortcut is related to finding the middle subject mark if the middle subject is left out. So what is the formula in this case? It is like A0 N0 minus A1 N1 minus A2 N2. Correct? This is the formula which you have to apply. So what will I do? I am going to take you to the question, and here we go. Okay, all right. The question is, the average marks scored by Shraddha in 9 subjects is 75. So you got what? You got A1 and N1, right? No, this is A0 and N0. Sorry. So I'll just put it across for you. This is A0 and this is N0. Okay. The average marks in first 4 subjects is 69. So now you got A1. This is A1 and this is N1. This is N1, this is A1. Okay. Then average marks in last 4 subject is 78. So yes, you've got N2 again. So this is your N2 and this is your A2. Correct? Now what you have to do, you just have to put it in the formula. So formula is 75 into 9 minus 69 into 4 minus 78 into 4. So this is like 675 minus 276 minus 312. So which is equal to 87. So marks scored by Shraddha in the 5th subject is nothing but 87 marks. Right? Okay. Now I'm going to also take you to another trick. This is not related to your average, but this is related to your percentage. Okay, so it's like, okay, so it is like percentage calculation. How do you calculate a percentage? See, percentage calculation, you just have to remember one formula. You have to write value to be compared upon value to which it has to be compared into 100. So see, if you have to write, you will write VC is value to be compared, right? And VB is basically value to which it has to be compared. So basically, this is what? This is, we are talking about the base value, right? So let's understand with the help of an example. The last question, most probably. Okay, so the question is, what is the percentage of marks scored by Ravi in final exam if he has scored 1102 out of 1200? So what is VC? That is 1102. What is VB? That is 1200. The percentage we are talking about is the percentage is 1102 divided by 1200 into 100. That's all. So the percentage is 91.83%. Correct? Let's understand this with help of another question. The last question. Yes, the last question is, suppose I'll write it for you. Out of 6,500 population, men are 39,000, right? What is the percentage of women? Correct. So same thing. See, women will be how much? See, total population is 6,500 minus, this has to be 65,000. Okay. 65,000 and 39,000. When you minus this, you get 26,000. Now percentage of women we need, right? So how will you calculate? That is 26,000 divided by 65,000 into 100, which is equal to 40%. So this is how you calculate the percentage. So thank you so much, and I will be putting another video on short tricks or shortcuts to crack the quantitative exams. Thank you. Press on the bell icon to get the latest notification. Do subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more videos.